Hello and welcome into this video. Today we are going to be talking about conscious content creation, which is an imperative part of running a soul-based business. So if you are a spiritual business owner, wellness business owner, conscious creator, this video is going to support you in understanding the benefits of creating conscious content. So first of all, let's just do a little brief overview. What is conscious content? Conscious content is creating content from a conscious perspective. So this isn't using any sort of artificial intelligence. This isn't just writing out a post because you need to write a post. This isn't just, okay, let me find a trending audio and just post it out there. This is ceremonially creating your content so that it has an impact on the viewer and has the end goal of actually getting the viewer, in most cases, off of their phone, or at least off of the small social media that they're watching the video on. So I, of course, expand on this topic in Conscious Creators Academy, formerly known as Spiritual Business Academy. If you do want the full rundown of conscious content creation, that is inside of there. But let's go through the major benefits of actually creating conscious content. Number one, if you're creating conscious content, it is 100% certain that the people who are actually meant to invest in the services or the products that you're offering are actually going to buy, or the post may lead them closer to buying. The reason for this is loud noise. I swear anytime in the last 7 years that I try to record, it is like the whole world tries to be loud. Anyways, with conscious content creation, people are more likely to purchase from you because they're going to feel very called out by your message. If you're creating content from a conscious perspective, what's going to happen is that the wording and the messaging that you're using is going to almost feel like it is channeled or comes from a higher self or a higher place, which is going to be felt by your buyer. They are going to feel like you are directly talking to them. And you can try to sit and act like you can speak directly to that client, and in some cases you can create content without being conscious about it and speak directly to the buyer. But when you're creating content that's conscious, that speaks directly to the buyer, that is going to be felt, because it's not going to feel automated. It's not going to feel like logical. It's not going to feel 100% intellectual. It's going to actually trigger a energetic response and a psychological response in your buyer, where they actually feel this magnetic or energetic pull towards you, because you've actually taken the time to be conscious to create that content to the point that what you are sharing is 100% in energetic alignment to what they need to hear in that moment. That then allows for people to know, okay, this is who I need to buy from, where can I buy? So one of the biggest benefits of conscious content creation is people are going to feel it energetically. People will feel the soul behind it. And in this modern day of AI and such, it is so needed to feel a soul connection with the person that you're going to buy from, especially if you're running a spiritual wellness conscious business. You need to have that energy behind. I don't understand how people can use AI and be in this type of business. They're very incompatible. The second benefit to conscious content creation is that you are actually creating content that is going to make people conscious when they see it. If you're conscious posting it and creating it, it's very likely that that consciousness is going to transfer through the post, whatever, method of content that you're creating, and it's going to wake people up. That is a huge goal. We don't want to be people who are posting on social media for the expansion of our business, or even if the purpose of us posting is to serve humanity. If it keeps people scrolling, if it keeps people wanting more or waiting for more. A good example of this is if somebody is on YouTube. Like, I won't trust prophetic words or people who show up on YouTube in a business and say, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss another video. I personally don't believe in that, because that is removing people's consciousness. That is having people addicted to you, and that is having people like fear missing out, and I don't believe that that's conscious. The goal of my content is to have you kind of wake up. It's to have you think. Like, I would love if you have a pen and a journal and you're taking notes during this type of content and actually receiving from it as if you've paid for it, because I don't want you to just watch and just keep like mindlessly scrolling. I want this content to wake you up. I want this to make you feel something. I want this to inspire you so that after this video, you're either going to want to learn more, so you're going to learn more about my program, or you're going to go ahead and take this information and go create conscious content. Because I don't want you to feel like, oh, I need to make sure I have clicked the bell button to like make sure I get the next video. It's like, no, I want you to go out and take this content and then go be conscious about it. I don't want you to fall asleep to the content and the mindless scrolling. I think it is out of integrity to run a spiritual wellness or conscious business. That's content keeps people in a hamster wheel. My goal with my content is to actually instigate you to go and do something. So you'll often find me say like, here's a journal prompt, or do this little activity, something that gets you off of your device. So a big benefit is this is going to make people conscious, which is going to make your content immediately have an impact on someone's life. And if your content that's free is going to make somebody be conscious and actually do something in their life, they're going to realize you're this real, living, breathing human who's made an impact on them through your free content. They're more likely to sign up for your paid program. So for example, you might watch this video, see the benefits of conscious content creation, and at the end I'll give you like a little prompt or activity to do, and you might be like, wow, this is actually so cool. I want to take the full course on this so that I'm fully invested in understanding how conscious content works, how to create a content ceremony, all of those things, right? So your goal should be to make people be conscious, especially as a conscious business owner. Now, another benefit of conscious content creation is that you are operating from a higher level of integrity. People don't want artificially created content. People don't want content that, let's talk about this, that you create because you need to post XYZ times a day or a week, or you need to put this video out now because you need to market and sell and make an impact or like feed the algorithm. That is not compatible to this type of business. You shouldn't be creating content if you don't feel inspired to create content, or if you don't get the direction to create content. There's two ends there. Sometimes we might not want to do something, but we're guided to do something, and that's where we tune our ego down and we go do it, or we feel inspired. Too many times, in the past, it feels like a lot of people are creating content because they need to. And first of all, that's felt. I can feel if somebody is in a business and they don't actually really want to post, or they feel like they have to post in order to sell. That is a felt energy in your post. Not everybody can sense that, I will say that. But for people who are, and this is going to be leading into like high ticket sales, people who are premium buyers who are going to invest a lot of money in your services, they do not want this like, I have to post today. They want someone to show up, especially in a spiritual wellness and conscious business, because they want to be there, or because they know that they're intuitively meant to record this. So for example, this video in itself, very directly guided. I swam in the ocean this morning. I got the guidance. I need to come back and I need to film a YouTube video. I asked God, what is the video about? What do you want me to speak on today? Conscious content creation. So here I am to deliver this message because that's what I was guided to do. So this type of content benefits your clients because, first of all, I wouldn't have thought to sit down and create a video on conscious content creation today at all. That would not have been the first thing that I would have thought of. That would have not been something that came from my logical mind, which means somebody needs to hear this video, or multiple people need to hear this message right now. And because of my obedience to that guidance, it is then going to make a conscious impact on them. And that also comes then from the perspective of, it's like, I'm not coming from, I don't want to create content today. I don't want to record anything today. I'm coming from the perspective of, I'm instructed to create content today. So I'm doing my purpose and my mission, and then therefore this message is going to serve people, right? So that is another benefit. I would say the next benefit is that conscious content creation is going to support you in increasing your likelihood of being able to sell programs at more of a high ticket premium price. So if you know me, or if you've watched my videos, or if you've signed up for any of my programs before, I love talking about high ticket sales. I think high ticket sales in spiritual business is something that nobody really talks about, but I think that it is a really strong, important foundation that most spiritual and conscious business owners need to have. This is not true for every business. Some businesses are product based, so you will just be selling a product that's like $20 or $40. So this part may not resonate with you. But if you're in coaching, if you're in like reading or energy healing, if you're in fitness, nutrition, business, mentorship, if you're in kind of any field in which you're directly serving somebody in a one-to-one setting, whether it is a single session or long-term, I do believe that it is very important for you to have a higher ticket package. Whether it is like an online course that is, maybe 5K, or it's a one-on-one package that's 50K, 100K, 40K, whatever that number is for you. It's going to be different. High ticket is going to be, I explained this in Conscious Creators Academy. High ticket, the actual value or price point is different for every person. It's very objective to the individual what high ticket is. These are just the high ticket numbers that come out naturally for me when I'm sharing. Conscious content creation is going to lead to high ticket sales because, first of all, your clients will wake up during your content. They are going to feel your presence. They're going to feel your energy. Beyond that, they're going to feel a higher power in your content. And you'll see this if you end up joining Conscious Creators Academy in the Conscious Content module. When you're doing a content ceremony, it's not necessarily you or your ego. It is more of you connecting to your higher self or to God and creating content from this really high vibrational energetic state in which your ego is put aside, the logic's put aside, and you're allowing for something greater essentially to speak through you, or to be able to connect in a deeper way. It doesn't have to be like that either. You can also just be energetically connecting to your ideal audience, which I teach you how to do that in Conscious Content Creation and guide you through a guided journey to meet your clients so you actually know how to do this. You're going to get this incredible opportunity to meet somebody and have them feel who you are and your energy just from your free content. Which in most cases, especially for business owners who nowadays are like using artificial intelligence, it's like, I can't feel who you are as a soul, so why would I want to buy from you? For me, as somebody who does run a conscious business and who is only going to purchase from a conscious business, I don't want anything that's generic. I don't want all 100% logic. I want to feel like the person is speaking directly to me, and I want to know that they weren't just typing this out because they needed to do it, or scrolling reels and finding a trending audio. I want to know that they were creating this from a clear energetic state. I want to know that the person that I'm buying from actually values my energy, time, and space enough to be in a clear state when they're creating this content. And you'll learn this in Conscious Content Creation. Sorry, this sounded so right today, about how to clear your space and be in this energy. Because if somebody who's running a soul-based business or conscious business is actually creating even their content from a ceremonial place where their energy is actually clear, they're not just creating content whenever they want to. Or I've seen people be like, oh, I'm watching this TV show and making my content. It's like, oh my gosh, like, you don't care about your clients immediately. That is an immediate red flag, because you don't care about the energy of your clients. Because any content that I create, the energy of the whole video impacts your energy. This is an energy transfer, and I feel like people don't catch on to that. And so I want to know, like, if I was going to spend 25K to invest in a mentor, if that mentor can't actually take the time to be conscious enough to create the content, that mentor is not going to take the time to be conscious during a session. That mentor does not have the right spiritual hygiene, doesn't have the right energy hygiene. And so if you're creating content from that conscious perspective, your client then can already pre-know that you're going to take care of them energetically and be respectful of their energy. And I feel like that is not talked enough in this field. People don't seem to actually care. So I'm here to say, this is what you should be doing if you do want to be somebody who is a high value spiritual wellness conscious creator or business owner. Not everybody's going to feel that, but the people who are actually destined to work with you are. And you should, just as a baseline, as a soul-based business owner, be creating your content from this conscious perspective. Now, the last benefit of conscious content creation is that you're actually going to be collaborating with, I would say God, you might say the universe, a higher power, source, whatever word you use. You are collaborating with that higher power to create your content. What that means is you're surrendering what you think you need to say to sell to what God already knows you need to say to sell. For example, I wouldn't have created this video on conscious content creation today if it wasn't for God saying, this is the video that you need to record. You need to talk about conscious content creation. Just a loud truck. I wouldn't create content that comes from my mind unless it was an inspired idea, because I feel like that's a flat content, which is what I would describe as flat content, is where it's like it comes from your mind, it comes from logic, and while that can still support your business, that can still sell in a spiritual soul-based business, especially in the beginning or in the first couple of years, or if you're in high ticket, you need to do it consciously. You need to have this collaboration with God, with spirit, whatever word you use, to ensure that what you're sharing is going to reach your clients, because this is the difference between conscious and non-conscious content creation. If I created this video unconsciously, I probably would have just done a prophetic word or an Akashic Records reading, or I probably wouldn't have talked about business at all. However, that's unconscious. That's me being I'm just going to record something because I feel like I need to record, which is fine. That can still sell. But if we're talking this premium content that is going to sell, especially high ticket in spiritual business, you need to be speaking what God needs you to speak. You need to understand that your spiritual business is a form of ministry. It's a form of you collaborating with God to impact people. And so instead of doing it on your own, instead of just trying to figure it out, if you can make conscious content, your content is going to impact people deeper. That's not to say that your content is going to go viral or reach more people. That's not the goal of conscious content. The goal of conscious content is to impact people deeper. It's to make people feel. Because you can tell from this video, I'm all in here. This is 100% consciously created. This is not created from, I have a list of things I need to record today, or I need to make this. I can't do that, because that does not feel an integrity to running a soul-based business. I need to do what God instructs me to do through my business, because God knows what my ideal clients need to hear right now. God knows I don't. And so being able to have that means that your clients are always going to feel called out by your content. It's going to support them more. You're collaborating with God, which means God's going to send you the clients that you need, because you're surrendering to what your clients need to hear that you would not have perceived if you didn't surrender to being conscious during your conscious content creation. So your little activity that I would guide you to do after this video, I can't really teach how to create a conscious content ceremony here, because that is inside of Conscious Creators Academy. Sorry, so many C's. Formerly known as Spiritual Business Academy. So if you do want the full rundown, you want the full module of how to create conscious content, all the meditations, the quantum healing is included, you can join into that program in the description box below. But otherwise, what I would guide you to do is I just want you to create one piece of content from a conscious perspective. Once again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do the whole ceremony. You can learn how to do that if you sign up for the program. But what I would suggest is go to nature. First and foremost, go to nature. It is summer for I mean, winter in Oceania, but it's still warm enough to go outside. What you're going to want to do, grab a pen and paper, not your computer, pen and paper, pencil and paper, something that is natural. I want you to sit with your back against a tree or sit with your feet in the water if you live by like an ocean or a lake or a river, or sit on a rock, somewhere in nature where your body is physically on the earth, not on a bench, not on a chair, on the earth. Grab the pen and the paper, and I just want you to sit, and I just want you to do a little prayer. You can use the word God, source, universe, whatever word you use. I use God, so I'll use it for this. And just say, God, what do I need to do today in my content? What piece of content do I need to post? What is the message that you would have me share to the people that I'm meant to impact today? Where would you have me post this? What social media? Because you also could be using a social media that you're not supposed to. What is the content? How would you like me to put this? Is this a video? Is this a carousel? Is this a podcast? Is it an audio? What would you have me create? And on what social media? And then your assignment is to go create that content. And I want you to be conscious while you're doing it. So I want you to be observant of your surroundings. I want you to be in your body. So I want you to go through and see 5 things that you can see. Feel into your body. Feel at least into 2 or 3 body parts. Easiest to do is just go right into your shoulders and your collarbone. I suggest if you're recording anything, you're going to want to get into your throat. You're going to want to get into your crown and your collarbone and your heart. And then I would say your root as well. Solar plexus would come after that. And create the content. And I'm going to post it. And I just want you to see what happens. It might not lead to a sale. And that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is to get you in the habit of creating conscious content instead of unconscious content. And then if you want to go further, if you want to truly understand the depth of conscious content creation, how to do conscious content ceremonies, you can sign up for Conscious Creators Academy, which is much beyond just content, but it is a full business program for you if you want to, and it takes you through the beginning phases of starting a business, but you can join it if you are more established in business. The first 2 modules are just starting out things, but things that you might have missed, like have you set up your social media accounts with integrity? Have you set them up with prayer? And do you know how to clear the energy of your social media accounts? So even if you are more established, the first 2 modules will help you, but right now it is a 12 module program, and I'm kind of creating content as I go for it, as I feel inspired to build into the program. So there's more content that is coming, just as I feel guided to. So you can find more information about that in the description box below. And I do offer one-on-one Akashic Records business blueprint sessions where we go and review your offers, your pricing, your strategy, what social media is, all this information to help you align to the highest timeline for your business. Quantum physics shows us that there are infinite timelines that are currently coexisting, aka the timeline in which your business has the highest impact, highest income already exists. The whole structure for it, your whole business model, the pricing, the offers that you use. What we do in a business blueprint session is I read this, I give you the information, and then you're going to go out and change your business to match that timeline. Then over time, you will end up being on that timeline. So I'll leave that link in the description box below. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Highly encourage you to re-listen at some point, not right away. Take notes. And then do the activity. We'll do the activity first, re-listen, take notes, actually take this content seriously as if you had invested in a course, because there's so many things in this that are going to be able to support you. I'm sending you so much love, and I truly hope that you received well from this video.